How many it takes to end on my blade, trying to contend the spirit within. Frank and murder, incense ain't sage. War on the way, they send them in waves. Wisdom wrapped in a melanin case, crown sealed by the ancient of days. Stacey after this broom be thrown. Once it hit the floor, the light will come on. That's when the light had came on. True story, just like a page of the Bible. Say you Christ like, say it's a loud. Do what you choose, but I'm gonna break with go about it. Anoint my head with olive oil, make sure it's extra virgin. Filter out the 2/3, gotta accept the virgin. If the righteous be scarce to say, which one of them 12 days you think you going in being worldly? Sound of shofar, angels of silver, ice cold like the rain in December. Here's the blood in the veins of these killers. So I train with gorillas. Teach the women by slanging the pistols, preventing them from being victims. Look, the harvest ready, now it's time to sift. All that boasting ain't no crown in hell, reach a kill. Look, the harvest ready, now it's time to sift. All that boasting ain't no crown in hell. We call them many colors on. Rocking coats of many colors, no silver spoon, from struggle, talking blood and bone. Train my spirit and my body, they supposed to come together like a bull, the hard trimmed and chrome. Hey, I do this for the nation. Gotta tell my people that I love them just as I'm strong. They see us waking up, and there's the reason why they blood bubbles. Cut from a different cloth, ain't cloth at all. Formed from the dirt by the hands of the very same one that made the earth. Satan, your daddy, sheep of your mama. Hypocrite don't wanna do nothing for God, but want everything from them. Focused on differences instead of what's coming. While we debate our enemies, unified with one man about burning us all. Made for this reason, take it or leave it. Clean up on now 12, got cherub scraping your fingers. They can't answer unless you let them in. If they don't know, you gotta tell them then. And they don't go unless I tell them when. Cast away your pride, don't catch a pearl before swine. Nurture the seed, but you can't make it grow. Got a coat of many colors on. Rocking coats of many colors. No silver spoons, boys from the struggle, talking blood and bone. Train my spirit and my body. They supposed to come together like a pulls of hard trimmed and chrome. Ain't gotta do this for the nation. Gotta tell my people that I love them, just remain strong. They see us waking up, and that's the reason why they blood bubble.
I got one more. Heavenly Priesthood 127. Your pa, Sister Your Pa, Shalom, Rashida Risha, Victorious One, Wesley Green, what's going on? Peace and blessing. Hebrew, everybody who tuning in, everybody who will tune in at a later time. I got one more. One more before we get into the message for the night. Mikael, Gabar Ben Yehuda, Shalom, Shalom, Shalom. Peace and bless to you and the family. I pray everything good with y'all. It has been good with y'all.
Chapter 5, verse 9. Home receive steadfast in faith. Cause knowing that the same afflictions are accomplished in your brethren that are in the world. They say it ain't worth it, you never have to fight for it. From your fall till you get all it all. Flesh daily gotta fight, gotta fight. Hard body, you can take a punch. They say it ain't worth it if you never have to fight for it. You learn from your fall, just get up. You the first day, you gotta fight, Hard body, you can take a punch. Get off, get off, get off, get off, get off, get off, get off. Fight, 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 so fight, brother, fight, get on great, fight, anger, fight temptation, fight to stay patient, fight to keep faith. Sometimes it's a fight just to put a smile on your face. Fight bad dogs, you have behind the jokes that you trash. It's okay to take the pants off, while your pants off. 7 years old, it's a challenge every time you see the 2020 man dog. Fight the enemy, used to smoke like a chimney. Fight not to light another cigarette. Fight memories, fight fam, y'all don't get along. Trying to study God's word, it's a fight just to get along. Freedom fighter, fight for the cause. Long as you're fighting, it's a problem. If I heard it, you ain't fighting at all. Your brother fight shots in the shower. Meanwhile, you in the hospital fighting cancer. They say it ain't worth it if you never have to fight for it. Learn from your fall, just get on. Kill the flesh daily, gotta fight. Hard body, you can take a punch. They say it ain't worth it if you never have to fight for it. Learn from your fall, just get up. Kill the flesh daily, gotta fight. Hard body, you can take a punch. Get up, get up, get up, get up, get up, get up, get up. Fight, 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 so fight, brother, get on great, fight, keep peace, gotta short self, still got beef with the court system, fight not to be the bad guy, life's a movie, you the bad guy, fight the blue shit, shame, word shades, trying to cover up the bad guy, fight hormones, pay his money, had your bread long, it's a fight just to keep them going big to the sex streets, calling on your cell phone, fight to be a light in a dark place, fight cause you're a part of the dark place, to see the sunshine, you gotta battle in the moonlight, baby, we had food fights, when number one in the spirit, everything different, fight around with me, anything bound to get it, fight, cause fighting all I know, every child had to take a blow. They say it ain't worth it if you never have to fight for it. Learn from your fall, just get up. Kill the flesh daily, gotta fight. Hard body, you can take a punch. They say it ain't worth it if you never have to fight for it. Learn from your fall, just get up. Kill the flesh daily, gotta fight. Hard body, you can take a punch. Get up, 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 fight. Fight, so fight, brother, get on great, fight.
All right, all praise to the Most High, Creator of the heavens, the earth, the seas, and everything that's in them. The Father of lights, the Ancient of days, the Lord of spirits, the one who created the moon, gave the moon his phases, the one who created the rhinoceros, the same power, God, and authority that created the urn that's inside the earth, the gold, the silver, the different types of minerals, the crystals of different sorts, you know what I mean, the diamonds and all of those things. The same one who formed mankind is so powerful that as we come out of the matrix or the wombs of our mothers, our organ system is already organized. It's already lubricated. Everything is in perfect consistency. The bones then grew in our bodies, and you know what I mean, the cartilage and all the other organs. All praise to that power, the one and only creator, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, whose name was changed to Israel. All right, family. For tonight, Talk to on Tuesday, there's a few things I really didn't know what the title of the conversation, the message, or the engagement altogether. So we're gonna go over a few things, but the main points of focus will be accountability as well as unappreciation. All right, so how did we get to this point? Every time we go through something, this is what we're dealing with. We gotta go back into ourselves and see how did I get in this situation, or why is this happening? It's called critical thinking. A question comes about the things that we're dealing with. Why is this? What is this? Who is this? Where? And, all these different types of things. So, um, one of those things being to fight. You know what I mean? Just like the song said, we gotta be fighting day in and day out. I know it might seem mediocre. I know it might seem like this, just a repeat, but the state of the people has been transformed, even for myself at times, to feel like the Most High, He's gonna play around with us, but we're gonna get it out the book. Like it don't matter about the good fruits that you produced yesterday. Your good deeds that you did yesterday can't save you today. You know what I mean? We gotta produce good fruits and do good deeds every day and throughout the day. It's a battlement fight every day and throughout the day. The word and the target is for those who truly believe. I don't care who you are. You know what I mean? It's for the souls, and we award all time. So we're gonna kick the door in with Ezekiel 33. Ezekiel 33. On that note, look, smash the like button. The like ain't for me. The like is to trigger an alert with the algorithm for other people who didn't get the notification, and who it'll let them know we live right now and the conversation being had. And I pray this word for somebody. I'm praying that no flesh glory in the sight of the Most High. I not be seen, period. You know what I mean? Nothing I say, nothing I do, anything about me, let all this be hidden, but hear the word of the Most High. Hear any wisdom, knowledge, and understanding that comes from the Most High. Don't look at me as a person like I'm flawless or I'm some type of idol or none of that. For any reason of why you know me. Or if this your first time tuning in, I pray it be a blessing. I pray the Most High anointing be strong. Strongholds be destroyed, broken, demons be bound, every spirit of confusion be arrested, the spirit of fear, the spirit of, to where you can't even focus. The focus is shadowed and shifted and divided everywhere. I pray that y'all can hone in into tonight's message. Understand that as long as we come together, as long as we come together sincerely in the word, we not sinning. You know what I mean? If we occupied in righteousness, we can't be occupied in wickedness at the same time. And that's a blessing. That's what we want to do. We want to create this habit. You know what I mean? We can start with small steps, little small things. We want to create this habit, and the habit, becoming a lifestyle. That lifestyle is what we want to live until we see the kingdom. Until we get before the judgment seat of the Most High. There's a lot of knowledge out there, and all knowledge ain't good. There's a lot of people that's positive, and they can be recognized and even labeled as good people, and they got good intentions and good morals, but they won't get you in the gate. They won't get me in the gate. What the lines is drawn and they very clear with the Most High. Man, you got to do what He say. You know what I'm saying? And that's all it boils down. Either we gonna do it or we not. And in that case, if we not, man, we get what comes with it. In the case that we do, we get what comes with that. All right, so the agenda for the message is to definitely be a sobering thought that besides when we take off all these other things that that we face with and deal with and get entertained by every day, man. When you die, man, death is real, man. No, death is a real thing. Just as sure as we in life and living and experiencing, man, death is real too. And the things that come after death is very real. So within that family, it's like we got these hours in a day, and within these hours, we're faced with these different temptations. Like the song says, many people, many of us, you know what I mean, we're dealing with these thoughts of lust, and lust is not only the feeling of you feeling something sexual. Lust ain't always about some sex. Lust is any desire that's ungodly. You got people that's lusting to kill. You got people that's lusting to steal. You got people that's lusting to commit violence. They waiting for the chance to explode on somebody. You know what I mean? So we got different forms of lust that we battling. We still shifting and sifting through information and coming out for what's true, what's false. And it can be overwhelming at times. You're like, man, there's so many lies. It's like some people tweak out. They don't know what to believe. Don't give up, man. We got to keep fighting. You know what I mean? And we fight for something that's worth fighting for. You got people that's out here, they booming left and right. They tell me, don't worry about the most. They say, don't worry about trying to live an upright life. Don't worry about trying to do nothing that's going to be pleasing in the sight of the Most High. But as we look out into the world, and we paying attention, when we comprehend their spirits and discerning, man, the world saying that, so much wickedness and evil is okay. You know what I mean? They creating an environment that sin can be cultivated, promoted, and passed on for generations. And simultaneously, they pushing out everything that is right and that is of the light, man. So, working on another message in Proverbs 29 to tell us that when we obey the Most High, we do what's right, we contend with evil. But when we yield to evil, in so many words, it's like we saying, man, to live a life is pleasing to the Most High is lame. It ain't nothing we want. We praise the wicked. That's what it says. When we choose to do the unrighteous things in life by our actions and default in the sight of the Most High, it's like we praising the wicked. We saying that they living a better lifestyle than we are. All right, but enough of y'all in here, man. I'll praise to the Most High. Ezekiel 33, this over here. I'm going to start with verse 1. It reads, again, the word of the Most High came unto me, saying, Son of man, speak to the children of thy people and say unto them, when I bring the sword upon the land, if the people of the land take a man of their coast and set him for their watchman, if when he seeth the sword come upon the land, he blow the trumpet and warn the people, and whosoever heard the sound of the trumpet and take of not warning, if the sword come and take him away, his blood shall be upon his own head. So we're going, this is what we're doing at the furthest extent of anybody wondering what their purpose is and you serving the Most High. Just to be a record and a living account and testament against those in the world who chose a contrary life to him. Now you stand as a sign and say, well, such and such chose to serve me. Such and such chose to do right. They felt, they obeyed me, kept the commandments in the faith, you know what I mean? Wanted to be guided by the Holy Spirit, sealed with the Holy Spirit. So ain't nobody gonna have no excuse in the end. But what it's telling us is if we have somebody that's supposed to be looking out for the welfare of the nation and the household and the people, that person constantly being on watch, looking out to see what's going on in the world. That's why we going into the news and we're looking at the prophecies that's happening, paying attention to these things, so that we can come back and warn the people. And the other time, we just sharing what the Most High drop on our spirit. Like, listen, man, you're not gonna be able to save your children. When each one of us gonna give accountability, man. Your congregation, the body that you are part of, your family, you know what I mean? Your sweet, sweet, loving and beautiful grandma, you know what I mean? The people that's around you, you ain't gonna be able to go to hell for them or into the New Jerusalem for them. Neither one. Your children, as much as they love you, I don't care if you're handicapped, I don't care if you're sick, the things that happen to you in your life are at the point when we become aware and able to make a choice to do good. When we can choose to do good, man, our past stop becoming an excuse and a foundation when we can play that grace card. Like, well, I kind of wild out because I was brought up in this broken home. Yeah, but you should have enough sense. The Most High didn't put enough sense in all of us, man, to be able to break generational curses. To be the one to say, well, if I went through that and had a broken home, I don't want to create it or, keep perpetuating it. I want to do something different. You know what I mean? Many cases, many times, you got men and women alike have children, but they themselves came from a home where they didn't have their parents, but get mad at the person who they have a child with, and they start to keep the children from the other half of the child. Therefore, putting them through the same cycle that they, wasn't supposed to be satisfied with, one happy with the life that they had to live. All right, but in this case, when we coming from the book, When I'm driving tonight, family, prayerfully to the Most High God, each one of us gonna give account, family. Each one of us gonna have to give account. You can't. I put it like this: you have women, right? Uh, both of them pregnant. Both of them been pregnant before and had children, and they sharing a conversation about the ways of contractions, how we feel. Like, dang, girl, it hurt, you know. And I'm like, yeah, I remember I went through, I needed the epidural shot, such and such, so on and so forth, right? They both can understand what it feel like, but when the contraction hit one of them, the other ain't gonna feel it. So let me go further. If you catch that one, what I'm saying is, in the world is even a saying, what you eat don't make me go to the restroom. Saying all that to say, I know what the next person got going, it ain't always about what they do. It's about how we respond to what they do. We can't control nobody. He gave us the power to control ourselves. He gave us the choice to be able to make the decision for ourselves of which path we walk, what we do, what we say, how we handle our thoughts. You know what I'm saying? How we move and interact with the other people in our environments and where we come from. He didn't give us the power to control. You can't control me. I can't control you. The only thing that we can do is share these messages, share these words, be an inspiration and an influence of some form by the way that we live, what we speak, and how we operate. All right, but continuing on, Ezekiel 33, I'm going to read 4 again. It says, then whosoever hears the sound of the trumpet and taketh not warning, if the sword come and take him away, his blood shall be upon his own head. So when we warn people and they don't listen, man, we get the blood off our hands. That's on them now. I ain't got to wrestle with you, argue, debate, none of that. After I done told you what the Most High conveyed for me to relay to you, it's on you now. I'm in the clear. Verse 5, though, it says, he heard the sound of the trumpet and took not warning. His blood shall be upon him. But he that taketh warning shall deliver his soul. But if the watchman see the sword come and blow not the trumpet, and the people be not warned, if the sword come and take any person from among them, he is taken away in his iniquity, but his blood will I require at the watchman's hand. So in the case where I gotta come on, I got to tell you, like, listen, I know they telling you that, man, you can live how you want to and be regenerated and you're gonna be saved. That ain't what the book say. That ain't what the Bible say. And I'm looking at both of these, devices, because I'm on the IG and the YouTube. Throwing in about, if it's throwing in about out the street. But I'm just saying, my mission, my goal, what I was created for is to let you know, to let people know. Man, it's every man, it's a war, and it's every man for themselves in that case. In the sense that only you can get yourself into the kingdom or keep yourself out of the kingdom. We can train up our children and steal those things in them, right? And they gravitate to it. They still have to make the choice. We all got to make that choice. All right. So in this case, though, if I warn you and tell you what the Most High saying, and you don't listen, man, that's on you. But if I see the trouble and I know the truth about a matter, and I don't warn you, and you die in your sin, I can be held accountable for it because I didn't complete the mission to share with you what the Most High said. Verse 7, so thou, O son of man, I have sent thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Therefore thou shalt hear the word in my mouth and warn them from me. We trying to warn the people from the Most High because this is the one that can kill the body and then take the soul and spirit from that body and put it in hell. This the one who decide whether you get in the gate or you kept out, where it's going to be darkness, weeping and gnashing of teeth forevermore. All right, so we warning the people from him. All right, continue on verse 8. When I say unto the wicked, O wicked man, thou shalt surely die. If thou dost not speak to warn the wicked from his way, that wicked man shall die in his iniquity, but his blood will I require at thine hand. Nevertheless, if thou warn the wicked of his way to turn from it, if he do not turn from his way, he shall die in his iniquity, but thou hast delivered thy soul. So convey that message at all costs, man, whether it seem like they listening or not. I let them know what's up. Let them know that man, we in the last of the last days. It's going down left and right. So much that, You end up repeating what's going on because it's too much. However, man, the Most High still works. So the message is for those as the time is trickling down, those who will hear. I'm not trying to persuade and convince nobody of nothing. I'm just trying to wake up the ones who they already got a mind in the earth for. They already have a heart for the Most High. Everybody ain't got a heart for the Most High. Everybody don't want to hear what God got to say. You know what I mean? And that's fine. So they come with you get what you pay for though. You get everything that come with it. Verse 10. It says, therefore, thou son of man, speak unto the house of Israel. Does ye speak, saying, if our transgressions and our sin be upon us, and we pine away in them, how should we then live? Say unto them, as I live, saith the Most High Power, I have no pleasure in the death of the wicked, but that the wicked turn from his way and live. Turn ye from your evil ways, for why will ye die, O house of Israel? So the Most High don't delight in slaying the wicked. You know what I mean? He want everybody to really, you know what I mean, live in that everlasting bliss. However, he made none of us robots, family. Ain't nobody, he ain't holding nobody's hand like that. You know what I mean? You got to choose it day in and day out. And you're going to have temptations. You're going to have problems. You're going to have all type of things that's going to try to discourage you. You know what I mean? You're going to have them issues where, yeah, you might not even be in the mood to read. You might want to fast and might not have that strength in the mind and the wherewithal to fast. You might not even be praying like you're supposed to. Your whole regimen on. And they come with the lifestyle. You know what I mean? You ain't going to always be up. But that's why it's a fight. We got to keep going. Keep going, family. Let me see. Verse 12, it says, therefore, thou son of man, say unto the children of thy people, the righteousness of the righteous shall not deliver him in the day of his transgression. This is where we're going. Now, this the sobering thought. Pay attention. If you ain't heard nothing, this the sobering thought. Ain't nobody getting in based off complete grace. Ain't nobody getting in on it. What he telling us in the book is that, listen, man, your fruits and the deeds that you did yesterday, they were sufficient for yesterday. They were sufficient for then. But if you decide that you've been living this upright life and then you go out, you want to revert back to be a pimp. You want to revert back to be a prostitute. You want to revert back to be this man filled with wrath and malice and beating on people, beating on your children. You know what I'm saying? You selling dope and fentanyl and all. If you go back to that, man, you dying that. What you did when you was walking in the light ain't gonna save you. It's not gonna save you, man. You gonna go to the flames just like anybody else who's been living wicked their whole entire life, choosing. All right, continuing on though. The B part of verse 12, it says, as for the wickedness of the wicked, he shall not fall thereby in the day that he turneth from his wickedness. Neither shall the righteous be able to live for his righteousness in the day that he sinneth. So the person that's wicked, you live in a life that's not pleasing to the Most High. You just complete sin. You feel completely lost. But then that light come in and you choose to serve the Most High, man. And that day, everything that you did before you chose to serve, none of that matter to the Most High no more. You good, but you got to strive and stay on that same foot for the rest of the journey. All right. Verse 13 says, when I shall say to the righteous that he shall surely live, if he trust to his own righteousness and commit iniquity, all his righteousnesses shall not be remembered, but for his iniquity that he have committed, he shall die for it. So this is what I'm saying. Like, don't be that person that get into that mindset feeling like, man, okay, God loved me so much because he spoke to me, he gave me dreams. You know what I mean? I can interpret dreams, I can learn these, all these different gifts. I know the mysteries and the breakdowns. I seen spirits. I shook hands with an angel. All these blessings, but none of that means that just because he allowed that, he gonna allow you to get in the gate being a sinful person. He say he gave no man license to sin. So we gotta be understanding of the fact that when we choose sin, like we literally playing with our souls. We literally playing with, you know what I mean, the lake of fire and brimstone. So it's a battle to where when you have these thoughts, and you gonna have them, we gonna have them, family. But that's why the book say, casting down every imagination that exalts itself above the throne of the Most High. So when these thoughts arise, we got the power to say, no, I don't want to think on it. When people trying to pull us into a certain situation and tempt us, we got the power to say, no, I don't want to be a part of it. Or we be the tempters. We got the power to, man, Father, forgive me. I was being a tempter. You know what I mean? I was the one tempting somebody. So these are the things we got to be mindful of, man. Like, we seeing these prophecies. And I'm gonna keep reiterating it. Like, I'm not trying to persuade no matter, man. The ones who is for it, these the ones who gonna get it. The ones who really want it, these the ones who gonna get it. You know what I mean? So if you want it, there it is. Here it is. This the way we rocking. You know what I mean? We ain't gonna hide it, man. We got all type of sin among us. You know what I mean? We got this spirit of covetousness running through. It's a strong spirit of variance running through. Variance and emulation. Variance being cool with me, but you ain't cool with such and such. You know what I mean? Like, you iffy. You know what I mean? You have doing it. You ain't the same with everybody. But continuing on, what we get, 13? Yeah, 14. It says again, when I say unto the wicked, thou shalt surely die. If he turn from his sin and do that which is lawful and right, if the wicked restore the pledge, give again that he had robbed, walk in the statutes of life without committing iniquity, he shall surely live, he shall not die. So that person will transform themselves like, man, I don't want to be wicked no more. They make this sacrifice. You will have people around you, man, like influencing you to do evil. You know what I mean? And this one you have to recognize we got to change our circle. You know, like I'm saying, like we can't. If I'm trying to get off cocaine, you know what I mean? I'm trying to stop smoking cocaine. Have mercy on anybody that's dealing with the addiction. Anybody who's dealing with it, may the Most High destroy their stronghold. I'm gonna tell you, anybody who's trying to discourage you, man, you can shake that. You can shake that. You can go to the rehab and get what you need, man. Go through that. Go through what you need to go through, man. It's a better life and a greater life for you. Where you ain't dealing with that stronghold and that habit, that spirit. But what I'm saying is, if I'm trying to get out there, I can't be going around the people who they on powder too. I can't do that. They gonna influence the temptation level gonna increase. I'm like, dang man, simply said they got the powder. I'm trying to stop, but I'm steady looking at them. It's like they having fun. They turned up. I want to feel it. I remember those feelings. I'm gonna want to hit the powder pack, man. So if we trying to get away from it, we gotta change our environments a lot of times too. Because one thing about it, man, I ain't never seen two people in one car. I never saw two people in one car. Even with like twins, right? I never seen two bodies come out there one. It's one by one every time. All right, verse 16 says, none of his sins that he have committed shall be mentioned unto him. He have done that which is lawful and right. He shall surely live. Yet the children of thy people say, the way of the Most High is not equal. But as for them, their way is not equal. When the righteous turn from his righteousness and commit of iniquity, he shall even die thereby. But if the wicked turn from his wickedness and do that which is lawful and right, he shall live thereby. And ye say the way of the Most High is not equal. O ye house of Israel, I will judge you every one after his ways. The Most High going to judge each one of us by our ways, not about the knowledge that you got and how much study you did. He ain't gonna judge you and say, let me see your bookshelf and how many books you got. He ain't gonna judge you to say, man, you know, how many garments did you create and sew? He ain't gonna judge you by and say, well, you know what, how long is your beard? You know what I mean? How pretty was your hair? About how many dresses you had? Okay, you had the dress, but you know, or the brother had to be, but what's really in you? What's in your heart? You know what I mean? Your intent going to the judgment as well. All right, so just putting it out there, family. That's the first portion of tonight's message. Something else that came up today to get clarity on for anybody else. If it's one soul, then it's multiple. It might need the edification. So let's go to 1 Timothy 5 and 8. 1 Timothy chapter 5, verse 8. Y'all have any questions, comments, if there's some drop them in the comments. As I seen it, the most I do, the wherewithal that back out the answer. Let's go to 1 Timothy chapter 5, verse 8. 1 Timothy chapter 5, verse 8. So the question was asked, like, what did this mean? What did this mean exactly? You know what I'm saying? All right, it reads, it says, but if any provide not for his own, especially for those of his own house, he have denied the faith and is worse than an infidel. All right, so this here is referring to the example. Let me keep it like that. If I'm working, take care of my business, or I'm willing to do voluntary work and help, right? If I'm willing to do that for a stranger that's outside of my own household, my children, my cousins, relatives, nieces, or whoever, my parents, right, or who I just consider my family. If I'm willing to go out of my way for a stranger, but I'm not willing to do the same for my family, the Most High saying, like, that's not 100. That's partiality. You know what I mean? And in a lot of cases, you can see a mask being worn with people because you want to seem like you this perfect, upright, cool, giving, helpful person to these folks that don't know you. But your family know you. Your family know, man, you ain't really like it. You know what I'm saying? You really selfish and stingy. You know what I'm saying? You really, you know what I mean? Somebody give you something, you will beg for that. But when it comes time for you to pay when somebody else needs help, you don't want to help nobody. You upset, mad, got an attitude and everything else. So the Most High said, man, if you don't provide for your own house, you don't take care of your own children. You go another example. It's not godly, upright, and righteous. It's nonsensical for a person you have children, your own children. You got access to each other. I ain't talking about in the ways where, you got problems, you separate the household. You got children and able to take care of your children. You skip taking care of your children and everything that they need, and you go take care of somebody else. The Most High, like, my brother, it's too bogus. An infidel is somebody who really not a believer. So saying about your actions and doing something like that, man, you really deny even being a servant of the Most High. Take care of your own house. Make sure you take care of your own house before or at some period of time after you help these other people. Not saying I help people, but we're finna go into the portion. UnAppreciation. Know who you help. So this will come up in a week too. It's today actually. Facebook asks you what's on your mind. And I literally be putting, what's on my mind at the time. So I dropped the post, and the post was, watch those who show, that they appreciate you, as well as the ones that don't. Something to that effect. And right after that, I ended up getting a message. I'm gonna cut it clear for y'all too. Somebody asking me, for some money. They asking me to help. And listen, it's no problem. Like, I get it. You know what I'm saying? That ain't, I love it. I love to help. But when it become a cycle, and then when I'm looking and seeing how things playing out, it's like, man, it's the only time this person reaching out. You make me feel like you're trying to play me. So I'm gonna lay it out for anybody listening right now, and also for anybody who listens who need to adopt the mindset that I'm going to speak on. Just because you say shalom or shalom, or you saying you're a Hebrew or you like the music, that don't mean I'm finna come out my pocket and give you nothing. You know what I mean? It's like try the spirit by the spirit. It's like to speak down on nobody, but this real, this for because you got people out here who giving their last. They're giving their last to people, and these people really don't appreciate it. These folks really not hurting. They're not really going through nothing. They really don't deserve it, and these folks running their own households into the ground trying to help somebody because the person who's asking for the help is playing on their tugging at their string, trying to make a person feel sorry for them. Man, that's wicked, man. That's wicked. And these now, for real, shalom, the shalom come and then you asking for some bread. Like, okay, but we're gonna go through the book and see what the word say about it. And let me say this too though. We wanna give, we gonna give. But here's the thing, I can take it if I'm moved to give to somebody. You know what I'm saying? I make the decision to give to you and make whatever sacrifice out of whatever I got going. I can deal with the fact if I made the choice to do that. But in the case where you trying to finesse me, I know that's a different story. You know what I mean? You coming with this, look, man. We ain't moving like that, man. Don't be no fool. And this is what I'm saying. People think because we live a godly life and choose to live a God, you don't want to pluck. I'm not no pluck, bro. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gotta be no pluck, bro. So don't be no pluck just because you want to be the light in a dark world. Mess around and get your light drained, man. Mess around and get your light drained because you trying to help everybody and everybody don't deserve your help. Some of these folks, they literally watching you saying, you know what, okay, I see where I went to work today. You know what, I'm gonna ask him instead of getting up and going to get it for themselves. It's wicked, man. It's wicked. But let's go to Sirach, man. Let's come out there, Parker. Jalon Johnson, Shalom. Let's go to Sirach, Ecclesiastes. Ecclesiastes 29. The word puts you on game. So we're going, like I said, because, some of the beliefs, a lot of it, y'all feeling like, man, y'all pressured. You obligated to just give, man. You ain't obligated to give like that. We're going to get it out the book, though. You give when you can, and if the Most High move you to give to this person or that person to help them. You know what I'm saying? We all need it. But check this out. Sirach or Ecclesiastes chapter 29, verse 1, where I'll start. It says, he that is merciful will lend unto his neighbor, and he that strengtheneth his hand keepeth the commandments. Lend to thy neighbor in time of his need, and pay down thy neighbor again in due season. So listen, even if we being helped, you got to understand, like, man, you really, when somebody give you something or help you, it's a sacrifice. See it as that. They didn't have to do that. You know what I mean? And in that case, if they help you, make sure you reciprocate that back and show them people that you appreciate them. Within appreciation is a form of that's linked to godliness. It's linked to praise. But the people will end up happening. This is why so many other people corrupt you. You trying to help folks. You help them, they turn around and tell you, well, I didn't ask you to do that. You volunteered to do it. I didn't put a gun to your head and ask you to help me. And then they end up having a person feeling super salty. You don't want to be that person. You don't have to be that person just because you a believer. No, man, the Most High didn't call us to be no fools, man. The word, the book, the oracles, the scroll, the script, they put you on game on how to deal with people. This is why we're supposed to be reading these wisdom books, like Sirach, Wisdom of Solomon, Proverbs. It tell you the mannerisms and behaviors of people, what to watch for, how to identify them, how not to be this person, what person not to be. It tell you that. All right, continue on. Verse 3 though said, keep thy word and deal faithfully with him, and thou shalt always find the thing that is necessary for thee. So if I ask you to borrow something, and I say I'm gonna pay you back such and such, all right. So in honor, I'm making it my business to pay you back on time, so that my word will be good. And here goes something else. People will do that in person to person interaction and fail in that area because they won't pay back on time, but to have a mindset to be head over heels to make sure they credit score right. Let me make sure I pay my bill to make sure the credit bureau is reporting everything on point. It's the same thing with your neighbor, man. That's how we got to look at it. It's even more important because this person, when you can't have access to the credit bureau, this person is living flesh. You know what I mean? So look out for that, man. Make sure that if we borrowing or anything, man, make sure your word is good. Build your word up, your credit with that person, with their brother, with their sister. The coalition. Salute. All praises to the Most High. Verse 5. No, verse 4. Verse 4, excuse me. It says, many, check this out. When a thing was lent them, reckon it to be found and put them to trouble that helped them. Now you burning bridges. I'm trying to help you. You trying to help me. I'm coming through gates. So what I'm saying, even with the situation, I tell the person no, and I tell the person don't ask me again. You know what I mean? Because I'm seeing that this is the only time you reaching out, man. I know what's going on. The person then, which I didn't help before, and I'm not sounding no horn about nothing I'm doing. I'm just giving y'all the story. As transparently as possible. The person then after that, they go and block me. So you kill and eliminate all communication that we can have because I tell you no and don't ask me for no money. Like, okay, you know what I mean? We couldn't link on no other level, but that is the fruit of that person showing me they didn't appreciate what was done for them in the first place. If I can't help, if I come to you for help and you can't help me, I can't get mad at you. If you telling me like, man, hey, stop asking me that, I can't get mad at you. Especially if you didn't help me before. But this show you the people, they don't be appreciative. You're in a deal why the book say, man, don't give your strength over. It say women, but we can also look at that for men too. You killing yourself, losing sleep. I remember having a conversation. I went to the studio. I'm recording. Matter of fact, that I'm recording Double Mad. The engineer trying to tell me about how I'm recording, like, bro, I'm not no peon with this. So, and I'm paying, it costs per hour. So I'm telling him, like, man, bro, you don't know what come behind these dollars, bro. Meaning that, man, the blood, the time, the sacrifice away from my family. You know what I mean? Me breaking my sleep to get up and go get the bag and what secure how I need to. You know what I'm saying? Me having to go, you don't know how much, it's been days where I went through without eating just to make sure I get, you know what I mean? Take care of my business. So all of that is back behind this dollar bill that I'm handing over to you for a service to record me. Don't try to tell me how to spend, you know what I mean? Don't play with me like that. The principle behind it is heavy, is what I'm saying. And this is something that the people need to realize when we're dealing with one another. It might take time to consider, man, what's the principle? What did it take for Sue to even do that for me? What sacrifice did she make in order to come pick me up and take me to work? You got folks who that they needed rides to work and calling and the person, listen, you stand 5 miles, I'm late for work and everything else, picking you up. Then the person get the vehicle themselves and they won't return that same favor. Just tell you this how it goes. This is the type of stuff that's happening. You know what I mean? And when we see that person don't appreciate what we do for them, we'll be fools to continue to in that same type of path and relationship with you. I can love you and not deal with you. I can love you and not allow you to make a fool of me. I can love you and not make a fool of myself. Just because I love you don't mean I gotta kill myself helping you. You know what I mean? At what point you gonna help yourself? However, we'll get that out the book. We still in Ecclesiastes, chapter 29, verse 4 again. It says, many, when a thing was lent them, reckon it to be found and put them to trouble that helped them. Till he have received, he will kiss a man's hand, and for his neighbor's money, he will speak submissive. But when he should repay, he will prolong the time and return words of grief and complain of the time. So this person, listen, when you needed it, you came all humble. Cry, hey man, say, hey, shalom, shalom, hey man, I pray everything good with you, man. I'm sorry if it's not going good with you. But like this person become a whole different being just to get it. But once you bless them, once you be their blessing, they transform. And then it comes time to repay. They get to come, oh man, you ain't give me enough time to pay you back. It's been 2 months, bro. How much more time you need to pay me back $20? You know what I'm saying? It's the type of stuff that's going on. And through that, you got a lot of people that done fell out over money, over bread. But then if we really examine it, it ain't even about the bread all the time. It's about the mentality and the spirit of the people. They really don't, you know what I mean? They really don't love the Most High. Because if we love the Most High, I'm loving my neighbor, saying like the Most High looking at how I'm handling my neighbor, my brother, and my sister. So with this person, so they gonna be humble. They gonna kiss your hand and everything till they get what they asking you for. And then after they get it, they gonna become this other person. Verse 6. It says, if he prevail, he shall hardly receive the half, and he will count as if he had found it. So what it's telling us that if I loaned you this 20, and then I'm expecting you to pay it back 2 weeks, a week from now. A week transpired to 2 months, 2 months becomes 6 months. And when I finally get it from you, I'm hardly gonna have half of the 20. You're gonna give me about $5. All right, this is what it's telling us right here. Keep going. It says, if not, he have deprived him of his money, and he have gotten him an enemy without cause. He payeth him with cursings and railings, and for honor he will pay him disgrace. So this person, sometimes you gotta just count it as a loss. Don't count it up like, you know what I'm saying? These folks really, they got over them. And there's a lot of that going on. And listen, there's a lot of people gonna be in flames behind this same type of mindset. You wanna play with people, you wanna use people. Yeah, the Most High got a place for folks that's doing that, man. You misusing and mistreating people. All right, verse 6, the part that I'm gonna extract from here, it says, he have deprived him of his money, and he have gotten him an enemy without cause. We ain't even have to fall out. You know what I'm saying? We ain't even have to be, you know what I mean? Just, we enemies now based off the fact that you didn't want to keep your word. This person didn't want to keep their word. She or he, whoever it is. Now we done fell out over a measly $20, $10. You know what I mean? Some type of volunteer. You needed to decorate your house before Saturday. I can't help you. Help me. Now I'm coming out. But then a person will turn around and want to go get this other type of things and make it an issue. Verse 7, it says, many therefore have this time. So the people who say no, they got a reason for saying no. It says, many therefore have urged to be among other means, urged to be defined. Alright, what it sound like now? The audio messed up now. How is it coming through on the IG? Is the sound still off? Not all praise it goes out. Sound like a robot. still saying so the audio on YouTube, you see. What about now? What we sound like now over the YouTube and Facebook. If you're on Facebook, it's distorted. I ain't no Bluetooth. Cut it out there in case there's a fake. We still distorted. I cut the Bluetooth off. It sound more. Wow. This is wow. Suddenly. Alright, check it out. I'm gonna go out and then I'm gonna come back in. I'm gonna leave out and I'm gonna restart it, I guess. That's crazy. So I don't know.